culture,
Very efficient.
food,
People are very courteous.
people. Why did I want to be a pilot? Influences came from my father, who was a pilot before me. And I saw his lifestyle, I saw what he did when he went to work. And I thought that was something which I would be interested in. Be surprised actually, they don't really notice us much. We're not really very visible to the passengers. I would say the cabin crew has a bit more visibility in that aspect.
When I see Singaporeans on board, to hear our Singaporean accent, it's nice to just feel at home. I can relate to them. After 23 years of flying, I've seen a lot of changes in Singapore. Everything is more costly, housing, cars, and more shopping centres are coming up everywhere. But despite all this, I still very much regard Singapore as my home. And also the fact that once the aircraft doors open, I know that I'm in safe hands.
I'd say that Singapore so far, to me, is one of the very few places where you actually can find different races interacting so well together. The sense that your best friend could be a race which is not the race that you are. But the biggest thing I miss about home when I'm away is definitely my family. 3 children and a wife waiting back home.
I think what they call the anxiety separation, when I leave my 2 young kids, I tend to miss them. I think if I'm here all the time, I might not value them that much as when I'm away. So I look forward to coming back. It's just, where your heart belongs.
I think I believe in Singapore as a home with all my heart. I've been born in Singapore and there's nowhere else I would rather be. It's a place that, although times were tough in certain phases, but through it at least you form the bonds with the people around you. And when you go overseas, you compare with things back home. It's very hard for things overseas to be substantially better than what you're used to at home. Final approach into Singapore. I always recognize iconic things that you see from the sky, and it just makes you feel happy coming home. You know that you're coming home. And that line, all Singaporeans welcome home, it makes you realize how much you actually miss Singapore. To all transiting passengers, we wish you a pleasant trip ahead. To all visiting passengers, we wish you a pleasant time in Singapore. And to all Singaporeans, a very warm welcome home.